what was your big first achievement? What would you regard your first really meaningful achievement?
Well, I suppose being selected to swim for Great Britain in 1959 was one of the great moments. And at that time, I was Great Britain's number 2 behind a swimmer called Ian Black from Scotland, who held all the European records. And I was number 2 behind him. And I was looking forward to the Olympic Games in Rome 1960. And there was a huge amount of pressure in the April around the Olympic Games. We had the first Olympic trials, and I absolutely messed it up completely and came last in the trials. And that was one bitter disappointment. I lost my place in the Olympic team, in the Great Britain team at that point. But the wonderful thing was I was able to turn to Neil, who was much more a mentor than a coach. And he just said, Mike, forget it, don't worry about it, learn from it. There is only one date in the calendar that matters. The 7th of July 1960 is the Olympic trials. And he was right. And I came 3rd in the 200 and I got my place in the team.
You got your place in the Olympic team. Amazing.
Yeah.
That is definitely amazing. And so after this being selected as part of the Olympic team, which is obviously a huge achievement, how many marathons have you then entered after that? How many marathons have you swum up to date? Could you please tell us about few memorable ones, maybe most memorable moments?
Well, how many marathons? First of all, let's say a marathon is over 10 miles, 60 kilometres. I think that's how we really look at it. I've done probably about 230.
230.
Something in that line, you know.
That is truly amazing.
Yeah.
That is truly amazing. So you must update you must update the information which is on the internet, because it's 120, but obviously there's no stopping you.
Right. Well, again, it's depending on when you say 10 miles or 25 miles.
Yes,
but over 10 miles, I would say about 200 plus, but
200 plus.
I'm not counting.
No.
I'm for a start. There are 50 channel swims there, which will be well over 10 miles.
So, how many of your channel swims were two-way?
Right. Let's clear that up for a start. I've done 33 crossings. I tried a two-way 5 times.
I see.
And I was unsuccessful every time. On the last two-way, I actually swam 1 19/20. I got to within 1 mile of Dover Harbour, and then I spent the next 5 hours doing that 1 mile. I was caught in the tide and couldn't do it. And eventually, after 29 hours, 5 minutes, I mentally snapped. And I said, not only have I done this mile, I've done it 10 times over, and I'm not swimming another yard. And unfortunately, the pilot put the ladder down and let me get out, and then said, if you'd stayed in another 3 hours, the tide would have taken you in. It was just a pity he didn't think of that before he let me out.
Yes, it's very important that you're mentally strong in those moments, in those difficult moments, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that is it. It's mental strength in those difficult moments. You know, not giving up, a lesson to be learnt.
Right. So when was the last time you swam the channel? Then was that your last attempt?
I think the last time I swam it was 2004, but I've done a number of relays since then. I think we did one in 2015, and I did another one I think in 2016, and that was with the septuagenarians. So there were 6 of us, all over 70, and we got the Guinness Book of Records oldest
team,
team
relay team
to swim across the channel, and we were the second fastest relay of the year.
Oh my goodness! You put a shame to those youngsters
but
swimming relay.
Having said that, 5 of the 6 of us were European champions, so I think I was the
little
only
detail.
one at the time who wasn't. So.
Just that little detail, yes. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing news. I didn't know about this. That you made it to the Guinness Books of Records.
Yes.
Fantastic. Amazing. Thank you.